Hi friends, today we're going to read Rose Meets Mr. Wintergarten. I had a grandma named Rose, and I have a niece that has that as her middle name. It's so pretty, Rose, isn't it? So let's see, this is a new book to me. I have not read it. The morning the Summers family moved into their new house, they felt at home. Faith and Rose put up their pictures. Baby Blossom watched. Lots to look at there. Mr. and Mrs. Summers planted pansies, petunias, daisies, and geraniums. Their garden was a carpet of flowers, all before the sun went down. Boy, they were busy right away, weren't they? Every morning from the roof of their house, the Summerses watched the sun come up. The sun never touched the house next door. Next door, everything bristled. Next door lived Mr. Wintergarten. Kind of an old, decrepit house, isn't it? And look at, now I see there's barbed wire around it. So he doesn't want anybody coming in, does he? And he's got a camera to make sure. There were stories in the street about Mr. Wintergarten. He's mean, said Emily. And horrible, said Arthur. He's got a dog like a wolf, said Naomi. And a saltwater crocodile. They say he rides on his crocodile at night, said Emily. And get you, Arthur shrieked. I don't believe you, said Rose. Anyway, don't frighten Blossom. My dad lost his football over there when he was a boy, said Emily. You can just see it through the prickles, old and flat as a pancake. No one ever goes in there, said Arthur, in case Mr. Wintergarten eats people. If your ball ever goes over, said Naomi, forget it. And just then, Rose's ball went straight over Mr. Wintergarten's fence. Rose went to tell her mom. Well, honey bunch, Mom said, you can get your ball back. Why don't you just go and ask him? Because he eats kids, said Rose. We'll take him some cookies instead, said Mom, and maybe some flowers. Mr. Wintergarten's front gate had not been open for years. Rose heaved and pushed. The gate groaned and squeaked. Then slowly it swung open. Do you see how the mother went with? Because we don't go to strangers' houses without our parents, right? Because that's why Rose's mother went with, because Rose knew that. Rose could see that there was a dog, big as a wolf. I don't see a crocodile, she said. I should hope not, replied Mom, and threw the dog a cookie. Rose knocked at Mr. Wintergarten's door. Who the devil is that? Shouted a voice from inside. It's me, said Rose, and tiptoed in. What do you want? Said Mr. Wintergarten. I'm Rose Summers from next door. I've come to ask for my ball back. She twisted her fingers in her handkerchief. I've brought some flowers and cookies from my mom. Mr. Wintergarten glared at her. His dinner was cold, gray, and uninviting, with gristle floating in it and mosquitoes breeding on top. But Rose could see that he wasn't eating children. "Please, may I look for my ball?" she asked. "No," growled Mr. Wintergarten. "Go away." But when Rose had gone, Mr. Wintergarten slowly pushed back his chair, and he did something he hadn't done in years. Mr. Wintergarten opened his curtains. He sat on his front step in the sun. "No one has ever asked for their ball back," he said to himself, "or brought cookies." He saw Rose's ball and thoughtfully pushed it with his toe. Next, he made some darting movements that made his coattails fly in the sun. And then Mr. Wintergarten kicked the ball. His shoe came off, and look, his sock is about to come off. That was a hard kick. Right back over the fence. "Great kick," said Rose. "Nice catch," said Mr. Wintergarten. "Would you mind throwing back my slipper?" he added. The slipper went right over the fence. "Catch, Mr. Wintergarten," said Rose, throwing back the slipper. "Good throw, Rose," said Mr. Wintergarten. "Let's play again tomorrow." And then look at, everybody came to help fix up his house. And they took down the fence and the barbed wire and the camera. Sometimes people can seem kind of prickly or unkind. And it's just because maybe they've been hurt. Maybe they have been sad for a long time and they don't know how to treat people. And then sometimes they just need some kindness brought into their life. We had a neighbor a long time ago that was kind of a grumpy old man. And my son was so kind to him and would bring him cookies and made him lunch one day, I think breakfast one day, and just was always friendly to him. And we ended up becoming very close to him. And sometimes you just have to take the first step and be kind to somebody. And sometimes they're kind back, and sometimes they're not, but it's okay to be kind. Continue to be kind to them, even if they don't be kind back to you. But you want to, you can always smile, right? You can always smile at someone who's having a bad day. And sometimes you see it at a store, or sometimes it might be your neighbor. So I hope you enjoyed this book, and I hope you enjoyed how Rose was kind to Mr. Wintergarten, and then that softened his heart, didn't it?